Hi, everybody. I'm Kelsi, of course, and welcome to my semi-regular show, Either Or. You may know me from doing my wrestling talk from Super Kicking It with Kelsi, but lately I've been doing a lot of pop culture talk for fun because hey, why not? It's a lot of fun to expand horizons, to talk more than just one thing every now and then, you know? So that's why I've expanded to do this pop culture content and I like it a lot. It's a lot of fun. So today we're talking about, of course, either or. The concept is I have to choose between two things I really like, whether it be characters, movies, bands. I've done a whole bunch of things. I've even done wrestlers. But today it's two cartoon characters, Mickey Mouse versus Bugs Bunny. And of course, they're both two very iconic characters, I believe. Personally, that's my opinion. And I think a lot of people would agree. However, the poll results I put out on Twitter a poll pitting the two characters against each other, asking people to pick who is more iconic. And I think the results are quite surprising. And we'll go through that in a little while. And we'll also go through your comments. So not only are we going to talk about which cartoon character is more iconic, I also thought, hey, I haven't talked wrestling in a while. Let me make this wrestling related. And, let me see what people think who would win in a steel cage match, Mickey Mouse or Bugs Bunny, if they were in a match together. And those results were really funny as well and really surprising too. And the comments I got were so funny. I asked people for scenarios of who they think would win that steel cage match and why. And I really loved all my followers' answers. They were really, really creative. So let's get into all the answers actually, because that will bring us into some really fun conversation, I think. And I think you guys will really like it. I want to thank you guys who are joining today, either on Periscope or YouTube Live. I see Dave's in the comments. Hi, Dave. Music for listeners, and also CILLI. Thank you all for watching. Really appreciate it. So let's go to the poll. First, I asked Mickey Mouse versus Bugs Bunny, who would win in a steel cage match and why? Out of all the votes, there was 269 votes total. Bugs Bunny won with 82% of the vote. So 82% of the people who voted thinks Bugs would win in a fight against Mickey Mouse. Only 18% Mickey Mouse would win in a steel cage match against Bugs Bunny. That's crazy. Langeles says, Bugs, he's so ruthless. Come on. He would whack Mickey with that carrot. That's funny. No one said anything about the carrot, but that is a great answer. OKFABER says, no doubt Bugs would win. Music for listeners says Bugs would fight dirty. All of that is true. So lots of people in the comments already shouting out that Bugs would win. Very little people are on the Mickey side of things, but we'll look into the comments and see who is on the Mickey side, because there are a few people who said Mickey, and we'll see why right now. So that was the poll, but let's go to people's explanations. Alright, so first we have at AEW TV, I have to pick Bugs in a steel cage match. He's used to cartoon violence on a level Mickey can't comprehend, and he's resilient. Plus, he's crafty. All that is very true. Let's see. Again, that's another Bugs. A lot of people are saying Bugs here. At Dave Wrights Junk, Bugs would win in the cage because he has no respect for rules or continuity and would just tunnel under the ring to escape, although he might get DQ'd if he takes a left turn at Albuquerque and disappears, never to return. Mickey is a chummy pretty boy, so he bleeds buckets. I'm sorry. That's funny. I like the idea of Bugs never returning to the ring, just leaving, totally avoiding the whole match itself. But I don't think Bugs is scared of a fight, so personally, I don't know who would win. I'm going to save my answer for after I read all of the comments by my viewers and listeners, because I think you guys are the most creative, even more so than me. NY Hustla233 is in the chat. Thanks for watching, and thanks all of you guys who are watching right now. Thomasaurus 2 says, Mickey is not a fighter. Mickey Mouse is who we need. Or Mighty Mouse is who we need. I'm sorry, Mighty Mouse. Oh yeah, Mighty Mouse could defeat Bugs Bunny. That's a good choice there. That's a really interesting turn. I like that choice a lot. At upside down exclamation point 10 underscore podcast, Bugs. He has tricks up his sleeves. The only way Mickey wins is is if he has the sorcerer's cap from Fantasia. Now that is an interesting comment, and here we get a little tease of Mickey using his magic, and there's more than one instance in different versions of Mickey Mouse that he uses magic. Of course, we've got the Fantasia version of Mickey where he uses magic, but also the Kingdom Hearts version of Mickey where he is a Keyblade master and uses magic. So we'll go into that more later because some people did shout that out. At McPersonFaceFS, not even a contest, Bugs Bunny, hands down. Mel Blanc is my hero. And of course, Mel Blanc is the voice of not only Bugs Bunny, but many Looney Tune characters, and also a lot of other animated characters from other shows as well. A legend, really. If you're an animation lover like me, you know who he is. Very, very famous, very influential, and very important in animation history overall. So, great choice there. Again, I'm seeing so many picks for Bugs, and that's really no surprise, I guess, because he's way more violent in the cartoons than Mickey Mouse ever was. At Phantom Lord 87, Bugs wins that cage match. It wouldn't even be close. I've seen him tie a rifle barrel in a knot. A cage ain't shit. I do think that's a wonderful answer. How could you argue against that? If he can tie up a gun, he can get out of a cage super easy. Alright, so at the right Steph, Bugs is Hulk Hogan, but these days Mickey is Vince McMahon. Can't lose the match if you own the ring and the steel cage, wink face. I really love that. That is flippin' amazing. That is perfect. So there we go. We've got Mickey winning because he's so influential and almost like he's the head of a monopoly, almost like in WWE. He's the CEO, and so he owns everything. I guess that's what Steph is trying to say there. I like it a lot. Really creative. At J Chin for win, Bugs regularly took on heavy-armed men out to kill them. I can't think of Mickey ever facing similar odds. So again, we've got a Bugs pick there. I do apologize for my stumbling and bumbling. I have the worst headache ever, but I really am still enjoying reading these comments with you guys. So thanks for bearing with me, and thanks for watching if you're checking it out right now. At Mads Mama Bear, Bugs no contest. He's no stranger to violence and can evade like a champ. Will we ever get a Mickey? Here we go. At Golden Boy Dan says, it's obviously Mickey. But why? He gives no reason. He gives no reason. But at least he said Mickey. At least we're not getting all Bugs here. At Fight Boys Show, and that's boys with a Z, Bugs can literally dig through anything. He goes straight through the mat and out from underneath the apron, no contest. We're going to come up with some more extensive scenarios very soon as we go through more of our answers. There's some really intricate stuff here coming up. At Jedi Fett, unless we get a goofy run-in, it's a wrap for good old Mickey. Bugs has the reach and the ability to pull weapons out of thin air when he's not on camera. I like that a lot, and I like how he's saying Goofy would make the difference for Mickey, but if with no Goofy, Mickey doesn't have a chance. Fight Boys Show is in the chat right now. Thank you for your answer. We just read it. Really appreciate you participating. At Last Bone Stands, Bugs is known for using heel tactics. While he may be the face in most situations, he will definitely play the role of heel in this contest between him and Mickey. Expect the wily Toon to make frequent use of the steel cage, as well as a random anvil or piano from the sky for the win. I like that a lot. Very specific with the weapons. I really enjoy the piano comment. That's genius. At The Real Grizzle, Bugs Bunny. Easy. He fights dirty and always has. Groin shots, dirt, anything to get that win. He's a savage. This is so absurd. It's absurd to think of Bugs doing a groin shot against Mickey Mouse, but I actually enjoy imagining that because it's super funny. And also just ridiculous in the best sense of the word. Ant Won't Stop says he thinks Bugs Bunny would win in a steel cage match. Squirt_Ferguson said Bugs will stick that carrot up Mickey's backside for the win. That's horrible, but funny. At Sensei_Dave Bear, unless Mickey tags in Huey, Dewey, and Louie with their undeniable talents for mayhem, Bugs wins hands down, particularly if Bugs has access to anything from the Acme Corporation, which of course he would. So again, lots of people giving the edge to Bugs, but I like the Huey, Dewey, and Louie shout out there because who doesn't love that? Also, unrelated, DuckTales rules. At Larry B3960, who's the booker? Bugs has heelish tendencies, but Mickey will probably make a babyface comeback, and I'm kind of on the same page as Larry here, and I actually answered his question, and I made up who the booker would be. So what I told Larry, I said the booker is a neutral entity with his own ulterior motives. Scooby-Doo. He doesn't care who is booked to win. He just wants it to draw and to make enough money and sell enough tickets to buy more Scooby snacks. So really, he's got his own worries that he cares about. He could give a heck less who's booked to win. He just wants the match to do well. And Larry had an answer based on who I said was the booker. So at Larry B3960 responds, since you put it that way, a 60-minute Broadway, so there's a higher buy rate for the rematch. I love this. Now we're getting into super specifics, and it's absurd and wonderful and just the greatest. And then we've got my good friend at Take the Bump Pod. Check out their podcast. It's wonderful. He says Bugs, he has in-ring experience, and he uses a gif of Bugs Bunny actually facing somebody in the ring and like basically punching them over and over again. So that is a perfect example, almost like the ultimate proof to prove that Bugs could win in this steel cage match against Mickey Mouse. So good little form of evidence there. It's almost like you're acting like a lawyer here. That's the ultimate proof. At PCH Nilbog, Bugs. Number 1, he's much taller and faster. Number 2, he can dress up as one hot girl rabbit, and you know Mickey won't be able to think with his head. And number 3, Bugs has no qualms about going heel at any time. And number 4, he's a quick tunneler and will be able to get out any weapons from the outside real quick. It's so wonderful, especially the part about Bugs dressing up like a girl, because he did that all the time in the Looney Tune cartoons. Perfect example. Definitely a lot of evidence to back up your reasoning, and I like it a lot. At True North Graps, Bugs Bunny wins after a heel turn from Goofy. So I like this. So Goofy turns, goes against Mickey, and helps Bugs Bunny for the win. So if Bugs Bunny wasn't already the prominent answer in this, already on his own accord, now people are having characters betray Mickey Mouse and go and help Bugs Bunny as if he even needed the help to begin with. So creative, but also just really out there in a great way. And of course, at True North Graps continues on and says, one big boot from Goofy with those big ass feet and it's over. That's a good point. Goofy has huge shoes and huge feet. At Zalanthus89, since it's a cage match, I'm expecting weapons. Mickey has a Keyblade. It can cast magic and bash the hell out of you. So I like this answer because this is the first time we're seeing Mickey get the upper hand in this comparison. A lot of people don't remember the video game version of Mickey Mouse from Kingdom Hearts, in which he's basically a master, a Keyblade master. So he has a lot of magic powers, and he's got a lot of just power in general. He could technically beat anybody, and he beats a lot of villains in the video game. So Teddy, that is the ultimate proof right there. It's not just Bugs who has the advantage with weapons. Mickey, I think, has the ultimate weapon that's just as powerful as an anvil or a fallen piano. It's something that he could literally control and make anything happen with. So great point there, Teddy. At the Fan 2000, Bugs. Mickey is too nice. Bugs can have attitude and get things done. That's short and sweet and makes sense. At Cow Riot, Oswald the Lucky Rabbit pulls a taker and drags Mickey to hell while allowing Bugs to climb out. Probably not the first person to post this. There's no right or wrong when it comes to pro wrestling. Actually, you are the first person to post this, and I love it because it's so creative. If you guys don't know, Oswald the Rabbit came before Mickey Mouse. It was before Walt Disney started his own company, and really was kind of what's the company's name? There's this other animation company that Walt Disney worked for before he started up, obviously, Disney. And Oswald the rabbit was the main character. Then Disney went off on his own and created, like, he used Mickey Mouse as his main character. But it had a lot of similarities to Oswald. So that's why it's funny that Oswald would pull a taker and drag Mickey to hell, because it's kind of like a revenge situation. For those of you guys not too into old school animation history, I think that's a genius answer. Really wonderful at Cow Riot. Perfect answer. My great friend, Good Guy Dave at Dave Pozeski, Bugs Bunny because he has access to the Acme line of weapons. That is true. But I also told Dave, I responded to Dave and said, he would definitely have the upper hand there. But do you know who could possibly be in Mickey's corner? Roger Rabbit, because of course that's a Disney movie. And maybe Roger Rabbit will be able to give Mickey the upper hand and interfere on his behalf, thus allowing Mickey to win. I think that's an interesting thing that no one kind of called attention to. Roger Rabbit was really cool in the 90s, used a lot of reference to all animation, and it was really cool to see characters from different companies in that one movie. It was kind of genius and very revolutionary for animation. I loved how they mixed animation and live action, and it was just such a cool movie at the time, so I liked mentioning that because I feel like I had to give it a shout out. Dave actually responded to my response and said, that's brilliant. For added crossover appeal, how about Donald and Goofy can help Bugs because they have beef with Mickey over Kingdom Hearts. He left them so many times during that adventure. Is that going too far? No, Dave, not going too far at all. It's a perfect crossover situation. So again, we had another person saying that Goofy would turn heel and go against Mickey. Now Dave is posing the scenario that Donald and Goofy will betray Mickey and go help Bugs. I love this. So creative. You guys are geniuses. My good friend Jay at Jay Aletto, this isn't even a contest. Bugs would absolutely destroy Mickey. Jay seems really confident there, but his friend at JCD0613, no way. Between Martian Mickey, Captain Mickey, Indiana Jones Mickey, Bugs is a dead man. Jay responds, bull. It's regular Mickey versus regular Bugs. Bugs pulls weapons out of a hat. Mickey doesn't have to fight off villains all the time either. But then I weighed in and said, well, technically Mickey does have one weapon he can use. He is a certified Keyblade master. And then I randomly said, think about how well this Bugs versus Mickey match could draw. And would draw. It's so ridiculous to even think about this being a real match. But this is the fun in these kind of pop culture scenarios that I get a huge kick out of. One of my favorite people ever, Chibs, she always has the best answers ever. Every time I do any kind of questions, it doesn't matter if it's either or Kelsi likes, she has the best things to say. So she says, Bugs hands down. Have you ever seen that guy? He wrote the book on using heelish tactics. After the match, when the medics are taking care of Mickey, he casually eats a carrot, asking him if everything's okay. Guys like Cody, Miz, Heenan, and Heyman are choir boys compared to him. I love her analogy of all these monster heels being choir boys compared to Bugs. She's the best. Chibs always has some of the best answers and explanations. At Crone Bone, Mickey wins with a roll-up following a distraction by a Tinkerbell flyby. This is one of my favorite answers of the whole thing because no one mentioned any extra characters besides like Goofy and Donald and Huey, Dewey, and Louie on the Disney Mickey Mouse side. But a random Tinkerbell fly-in is perfect because if you guys remember, she used to come on the screen and wave her wand during the, I think it was the Wonderful World of Disney. I know she did it a couple of times. She might have even done it on some VHS stuff, but I think it makes sense for her to fly in and be a distraction, allowing Mickey to win. It's perfect. And no one else mentioned a character like Tinkerbell, so I really like that answer a lot. At Dr. KZVOSKY66, Mickey was never really violent. Bugs will dress like a hot female mouse and lure Mickey into a situation where Mickey hurts himself or repeatedly gets hit with a mallet. This is wonderful. I think there's a lot of evidence to support that would happen, and it's just absurd. In our comments, I want to thank you guys for participating, and for anyone who's watching, thank you so much. I see Braves fan for Life 8's just laughing hysterically a whole bunch of times in the comments because this is an absurd comparison right now. Alright, so again, if you're just joining us, we're talking about who would win in a steel cage match, Bugs Bunny or Mickey Mouse. Yes, this is kind of a far out there scenario, but I still think it is worth talking about it because it's a lot of fun. At WWF_anonymous, Mickey is a punk. Bugs got the swag, access to many Acme steel chairs and kendo sticks. Wile E. Coyote and Marvin the Martian and Taz run-ins, we know Bugs is actually a heel deep down. So he's basically giving all the kind of benefits of the doubt to Bugs. Bugs has all these great elements that he can use, so he's giving him the leg up there in the comparison. And then at WWF_anonymous continues on and says, oh, but what if Daffy swerves Bucks and joins on Donald and Mickey Mouse's side? Kind of to even the playing field. I like that scenario too, so that kind of balances it out. Who would win? I don't know, because WWF Anonymous did not pick a clear-cut winner. He kind of just gave the scenario out there. So I wonder who he chose to actually win the match itself. At Tommy C_86, Bugs Bunny would win in a steel cage match, hands down. Plays the good guy, but has such heel tendencies, so he could easily whip out an Acme steel chair or perhaps an RKO out of nowhere onto an anvil. Poor Mickey wouldn't know what hit him. I like the RKO specific onto an anvil. Like, that's great. Specifically, not just, in the ring or anywhere else. It's got to be onto an anvil. Perfect. So genius. At Na D Gaming, Mickey wins with Mousketeers instead of Mouseketeers. Get it? Mouseketeers. Mickey Mouse Club. Mouseketeers. I love this. Mickey wins with Mousketeers and Elmer Fudd trying to get that Wasky Wabbit. I say Mickey Mousketeer would be wire cutters. He'll cut through, Elmer would run in, and finally would capture Bugs. Mickey would escape and win. But then, Goofy comes out and would turn on Mickey, because, well, he ain't no joke. So that's an intense scenario right there. I've got P Boron 88 in the comments saying Mickey is a face, but Bugs has enemies in Elmer/Sam who happily get involved and help the mouse. That's a good scenario there too, because everyone has people betraying Mickey to help Bugs. I think the reverse would be true, and that people would be tired of Bugs and tired of Bugs' shenanigans and help Mickey Mouse instead. So, great comment there, Paul. I like your scenario. At Sim Purist, only way Mickey wins is if it's a handicap match and he has Goofy and Donald to back him up. Bugs needs no backup. He's a one-man army. Good point there. Can't argue. Bugs never really needs anybody, but that's why nobody will help Bugs. I have a feeling everybody would be like, screw Bugs. We don't like him. He always screws us over and messes with us and dresses like women and fools us and makes ridiculous idiots out of all of us, so we're gonna help Mickey Mouse. So Paul's situation, I think, even applies here. No one's gonna want to help Bugs, although Sim Purist says nobody needs to help Bugs because he can stand alone. That is a decent point. I understand that viewpoint a lot, but still, I could see it either way. At Wrestling More 19, Bugs wins with a little help from Donald Duck. So again, we've got somebody betraying Mickey and helping Bugs, which I don't think would be the case. At JROC2787, my boy Bugs got the win, and here's why. He's the face of Warner, but in Looney Tunes versus Daffy and Elmer, he is a heel. He has the tunes for support, Acme products, and he can make a hole to get out the ring. Mickey won't have a chance unless he uses his Keyblade. That's it. So again, we've got another Keyblade mention. I actually think the Keyblade is more powerful than the Acme weapons, let's say, and the Acme items. I think truly the Keyblade has more power and is a bigger pro for Mickey than Acme is for Bugs. But I don't know. I really don't know. Let's continue on. At Carrie the Gary, I think Mickey would cheat and get Donald and Goofy to help him out. So he has Mickey winning. So they're few and far between, but a few people think that Mickey would win this steel cage match against Bugs Bunny. And I like to see that a little bit of variety there. At Spray, ERMANJJ, Bugs Bunny is more diabolical and crafty than happy-go-lucky Mickey Mouse. Good point. I guess you could say that, but I wouldn't count Mickey out. Gorgie Porgy says Mickey Mouse would win with them big hard wooden shoes. He does have huge shoes. That's a good point there. I mean, Bugs is just wearing no shoes. He just has his feet, his bunny feet. So how much could those hurt? I know he's got the Acme weapons, but still, at least Mickey has his shoes. That's a good point there. I didn't think of that. At RONATAKANEWSHI, Bugs Bunny, he's cunning and he's been in plenty of fights. That is true. Short and simple answer there. Jesus at yes, USCAMACHO, Mickey Mouse, he's a Keyblade master. I like seeing those Keyblade mentions right there. Few of them here and there. Alright, so now I'm going to go to our last thing. It's not a comment, but it's a poll. And this is not about the steel cage match, but I also posed the question, which cartoon character is more iconic? And this is the poll that surprised me more than the steel cage match, because to me, I guess the more heelish character is Bugs Bunny, so I could see him winning a cage match more so than Mickey Mouse. And I guess if I had to pick one or the other, although I think the Keyblade is a powerful tool, I'll have to pick Bugs Bunny as well, along with everyone else, to win in a steel cage match against Mickey Mouse. So I picked Bugs on that. But the second question I asked was who's more iconic? And again, out of 375 votes, Bugs Bunny won with 61% of the votes. Mickey Mouse lost with 39% of the votes. And I find this to be surprising because I feel like Mickey Mouse is the more iconic character in terms of being more well known across the world. And I didn't screen capture the comments on this poll, but a lot of the comments even said this poll, people are going by what they personally like versus what is truly more iconic. A lot of people are saying Mickey Mouse is like, under this big conglomerate of Disney, and there's no way that like anybody in the world who saw Mickey Mouse wouldn't know who he was, whereas maybe Bugs Bunny is a little older and some people wouldn't know who he is, like little kids, let's say, might know Mickey Mouse more so than Bugs Bunny. Because Mickey Mouse is everywhere now, especially just Disney just keeps getting bigger and bigger. Every time you think they won't get bigger, they do. So to me, I like Bugs Bunny a lot, especially because like there's notes and hints of like a Groucho Marx feel in his character. I love that. It's not based on Groucho Marx, but there's like definitely a similarity between him and the character and the person Groucho Marx. So I really especially love it because of that and because I love Looney Tunes. But Mickey Mouse also holds, I think, an iconic place in cartoon history because he's so well known. He really played a big part in not only like cartoon history, but movie history because he kind of segued into like being played into the movie theaters. Like sound was a big deal. Just everything about him and his part in cartoon history is pretty big. Plus there's a lot of great Mickey Mouse shorts that I love. But it's hard to choose a personal favorite, but who I think technically is more iconic, I think would be Mickey Mouse, only because he's more recognizable. Not because he holds a bigger place in history, let's say, but definitely more recognizable on the whole. Gorgie Porgy says Mickey Mouse is boring. Bugs Bunny is always doing something adventurous. I do think Bugs does a lot of adventurous stuff, and there's a lot of very funny Bugs Bunny cartoons, very ironic and just classic cartoons. Looney Tunes was so great, and it holds up even till today. A lot of them, the majority of them, hold up a lot. But I do think that old Mickey Mouse cartoons a lot of times hold up too. Like, there's this great one with a mad scientist, Mickey and the Mad Scientist. That one's wonderful. There's one where Mickey, Donald, and Goofy go into a haunted house, and there's like ghosts following them around, and they actually scare Mickey, Donald, and Goofy, who are there to try to catch the ghosts. They scare them away. So I like some of those old shorts though. It's hard to choose for me personally. Sandman29, thanks for joining us, and thank you all who are watching right now. We're about to wrap up. We just talked Mickey Mouse versus Bugs Bunny. Who would win in a steel cage match? Most people said Bugs Bunny. That's really not a surprise to me. And then I chose Bugs Bunny to summarize what just happened. And then we just talked about which cartoon character is most iconic. The poll, Bugs Bunny won with 61% of 375 votes. And I guess my personal favorite would be, it's really hard to choose Mickey Mouse, but iconic. I mean, Bugs Bunny would almost be a personal, I don't know. Never mind. I'm going back on my own answers now. Because now I'm like conflicted and I'm really just living in the confliction. I'm like, what do I do? I really do think Mickey Mouse is the more iconic in terms of anybody would know who he is today. And that is truly something that you can use to define something being iconic. So to me, Mickey Mouse definitely iconic. In terms of a favorite, they're almost tied for me. I don't know why there's so much Mickey Mouse hate in terms of people liking him. A lot of the comments I saw people saying they didn't like Mickey Mouse. Maybe it's because of, Disney's a corporation now. It's really like commercial. Maybe that's why people have kind of like lost the love for Mickey. But if you go back to when it was new and not this big commercial thing, I think there's a lot to like about Mickey the character. I think he's like cute and sweet. MF Steve here says Bugs is far more likable, although Mickey is far more iconic. I do agree. That's kind of like how I'm leaning. I've always enjoyed Looney Tunes and Bugs because he gets into so many ridiculous situations. He's got crazy shenanigans that happen. And I just love him and Elmer Fudd especially. That's like some of my favorite Looney Tunes interactions is between him and Elmer Fudd. So again, I guess, yes, iconic Mickey. Personal favorite, I'm leaning towards Bugs, even though it's almost neck and neck for me. Whereas other people, hands down, said Bugs, which I was really surprised by because of just the day and age we live in. Looney Tunes is so much older, so that kind of tells you how well Looney Tunes has held up over the years, that people still think of Bugs Bunny as a character so fondly, even more so than the commercial cartoon character of Mickey Mouse. So for Bugs to beat Mickey in every category here, I think that speaks volumes. So, thanks you guys for watching. I'm going to wrap this up. I have a terrible headache. I apologize for all my stumbling and bumbling. I'm never this bad, but it was fun to post who would win in a steel cage match. It was also very out of the box and really silly, but what's wrong with that? I don't think anything's wrong with it. And I want to message, tweet at me at superkickingit, SUPERKICKINGIT. I want to know your opinions, and I want to know why. Don't just say, I think Bugs would win. I think Mickey would win. Give me a scenario. That's the funnest part of this whole thing, is posing scenarios and who would win and why. And again, tell me who your favorite is, and maybe your favorite Mickey Mouse short and your favorite Bugs Bunny short. I'd love to know which Looney Tunes episode with Bugs is your favorite. Also, which Mickey Mouse cartoon is your favorite. So find me on Twitter at superkickingit and let me know. Let your voice be heard. And again, next time I'll probably be doing a Kelsi Likes or a listener topic episode. Stay tuned to my Twitter to find out what I do next. It'll be next week, next Tuesday, same time, 9:30 p.m. Central Time. Thank you guys so much for joining me. I really appreciate it. Even though I'm saying goodbye, I'm going to end with saying, what's up, Doc? See you later. Thank you.